Well, hello everyone. Good morning and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. What a treat to be back with you. I'm so excited to be back at Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy and I'll be with you for today's show, and we are starting off here in the Eastern Cape at Mantis Founders Lodge in South Africa with two resting rhinos. Don't they just look so comfortable here in the shade? My goodness me, I wouldn't mind a spot with them there here at the Waterhole. It's such a beautiful place here in the Eastern Cape. Now remember everyone that this is of course a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me. I would love to hear from you. Say hello, let me know who you are, where you're watching from, maybe what you're hoping to see today. We never quite know what's going to pop out on the show. We've got so many wonderful locations to choose from, and so we follow where the animals lead us, where the action is, and sometimes we are treated to some very special sightings. So if you do have any comments or questions along the way, please do send them through. There's lots of different ways to do that, through our social media or through WhatsApp as well. You can send those messages through, so please do feel free to do so. Can hear there are a few blacksmith lapwings around. The last time I was here, the blacksmith lapwings had 2 chicks, so I don't know if they are still around here at Founders, but it would be interesting to see if they are running around. I'm sure they would have grown quite a lot already in the last just over a week, just under 2 weeks or so. There's also an Egyptian goose family that had a few goslings, so lots of life coming out birding wise now at this time of the year. I feel like this little rhino is having a dream with its leg that's being pushed out there. Maybe it's just the flies that are irritating it. You can see an oxpecker's landed on Mom there on the left. Diane, it's wonderful to be back. Thank you for your message. You are joining us from Cape Town. And I'm not sure, I've heard mixed reviews on the weather in the Cape recently, that it has still been quite cold that side. We are enjoying the heat here on this side of the country. I live in the Lowveld area of South Africa, very close to the Sabi Sands and the Kruger National Park, and it's definitely heating up. We had a little bit of rain a few days ago, but the heat is building over the next week until some more storms come next week. And there's one of those lapwing birds, the black and white one that just popped into screen that I was talking about earlier. Dalen, hello, you're joining us from Port Elizabeth, or PE as we say here in South Africa. Great to have you on board. You are loving the awesome rhinos. Aren't they great? Even though they're just resting like this, we are spoiled here at Founders with some beautiful rhino sightings that we do get to enjoy. Amy, I definitely think so. I don't know if there's any specific scientific research that's been done to back up my feeling, but I do think that they are a lot tougher than we are. But that's just my personal opinion. What I've seen them endure and be able to survive through, definitely I don't think I would be able to handle a lot of the pain and potential discomfort and wounds and injuries that these animals get to survive through without medical attention or help. It's incredible, really. Now, of course, they're adapted to these surroundings and these harsh climates and potential things that they have to endure a lot better than we do as humans. We have adapted in other ways, like inventing things like medicine and all sorts of things, but for them, they don't have those options available. Now, of course, there are things that do kill them, and there's certain wounds that are just not survivable, but for the most part, they actually do incredibly well to resilient, I would say, with the word I would use to describe them. And I do think that they can tolerate a lot more pain than, at least from what I've observed, than what a human could. While these rhinos rest here at Founders, let's head over to the hide in Zimbabwe. Oh wow, this is very cool. We have some scavengers all collecting here. I'm not sure if there's some food that's on the ground. Oh yes, look at the stalk on the left's definitely got some skin or something. We have some marabou stalks, the bigger birds. There's a white-headed vulture in the center there. That's a very, there's actually two, a juvenile and a mature. It's got the one has got, they both have the blue on the beak, which is a giveaway of as to which species of vulture they are. Blue and pink, and then the top of the head once mature is white but brown when they're younger. Can sort of look a little bit like a hooded vulture, but the white-headed are a lot larger than them and much thicker bills as well. It does look like there is a hooded there on the right. You can see how much smaller and slender that bill is, and then it also looks like some white-backed. So 3 different species of vultures here. Very cool to see. Definitely looks like they're eating the scraps of something. So I'm not sure the background here today or yesterday, if something was clearly seen being killed, or if there was another animal that was eating on something and has moved off. This is very cool. And often when you have a mixture of different species of scavengers or even birds of prey together, you know, this is interesting, because with vultures, for example, you would have one species in a group maybe perched in a tree. That's very normal. But as soon as you get different species that are perched or even on the ground, that immediately alerts you to, there's something going on here, most likely something to do with food. And that's exactly the case here with the remains of a kill at this waterhole. Well, while these vultures and storks peck away, let's head over to Tembe. Oh, wow. Always great to have some elephants around. And look at them all here. My goodness, this is beautiful. What a wonderful day in KwaZulu-Natal. There's been a lot of rain and storms and quite adverse weather around KwaZulu-Natal over the last week, I believe. And I think that also brought some rain to us here in the Lowveld. But it seems to have all cleared and has left everything looking so beautiful and green. And also the birds are chirping away, the weavers are busy. Summer is here, everyone.
See you out on the safari.
It could be a very exciting morning.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
The bush, full of beauty, wonder, and absolute chaos. And now, all that madness has its own show. It's called a Wild Bush Week. The countdown of the most outrageous, heart-stopping, and sometimes downright ridiculous wildlife moments of the week. Lions throwing their weight around. Hyenas gate-crashing the buffet. Leopards doing, well, leopardy things. Each week, it's a fresh reel of safari gold, a mix of drama,
She's just got an impala, everybody.
danger, and a healthy dose of laughter. So, if you fancy a highlight show with bite, and I don't mean just the animals, tune in to a Wild Bush Week. You bring the tea, and we'll bring the tusks, tails, and teeth.
I have a feeling there may be some swimming elephants later on today. just with the sunshine and across a few of locations in Africa, lots of them wanting to maybe cool down. And they always love to come to that spot on the other side of the waterhole to have a bit of a sand bath. I think it feels really nice on their skin. It's also quite cool. I think if they dig underneath the sand where the heat has sort of dissipated, and it stores some of the coolness in the sand too. Oh, Jeff, interesting question. You want to know if the current matriarch in an elephant herd trains the upcoming. Not directly. I would say, they don't have training sessions, come now, I'm going to teach you the ways of being a matriarch. But I think it's something that embeds itself into the females as they grow up and they realize that this is who is going to, not necessarily that they know that they're going to be next, but they will naturally fall into that role once the eldest passes away, and then you have that sort of gap that is naturally filled by the next oldest, most experienced female. It's not necessarily always the oldest, but generally speaking, that is the case. And so it's almost like training is always in session. And they are always learning from the older. So yes, in a matter of speaking, there is training that happens, but it's not I would say a conscious effort that's made. I think it happens naturally over the course of time. Todd, you would like to know if the calf of the matriarch in an elephant herd gets extra care like in a hyena clan. No, I wouldn't say that any, particularly being the matriarch, gives their calf preference or special treatment at all. I think that quite often the matriarch of an elephant herd is likely to be the mom of quite a few of the youngsters in a herd. I've seen a group where literally the herd was mothered by one cow. You could see it by the way she had 3 calves, and they all the older one, and then there was like a middle one, and then there was a tiny one, and the eldest of the 3 was too young to have had one of the other ones. It was clear that the youngest one was still the one cow, but that's just some extra info on the side. To answer your question, all of the little ones within a group, no matter where mom ranks, if I could put it that way, although with elephant herds there's no real ranking of females except of the matriarch, they don't battle it out or fight for any particular position. Oh, there is a herd. Speaking of, oh, there's a little one there as well. Cute. So all of the little ones are looked after and protected, and mom is super focused on it, as well as the other females in the group, all making sure that it's looked after. Ah, there we have a grey heron. Very, very focused here at the waterhole. Melanistic marble, there are a few big bulls around. I don't know exactly which one you were referring to, but the one that was at the water had some pretty impressive tusks as well. And here at Tembe, we do have some very impressive bulls that come through. The ones that I would say I feel are some of the larger individuals, just based on, I'm not sure if it's perspective or what, but in Namibia at some of the waterholes near Etosha that we view, those elephant bulls just seem ginormous, even bigger than these. But it's all about really how tall they get shoulder height wise, and then the head even above that. I mean, just look at that size comparison. I'm not sure if that's a young boy or a female, but I mean, you can see that bull is particularly impressive. He hasn't actually got the longest tusks, but he definitely seems like the biggest one of all of these. There are a few woolly neck storks. You can see there the black and white birds moving around. Dark Main Lover, I agree. There's something about elephant sightings like this that are so relaxing. I could just sit here quietly and watch them. It is wonderful to have so many out and about. We've got the bulls that we generally always see here at Tembe, but we also have a herd around, which is special too. Well, what a wonderful time with some Ellies. Let's head up to Kenya now and see what's happening at Old Donyo. Well, this is always something special to see what's going to be here when we arrive, and looks like the zebras are making their way to have a drink, as well as a big male giraffe there. Wow, how special is it to have them all lined up like that? Would make an incredible photograph. Yes, definitely. I think that giraffe, referring to being shy, I've always seen them quite cautious when approaching water, but I have definitely guided in areas like the Kruger, for example, where they are very, very used to vehicles. And in that way, not being very shy at all, and you can have some incredible giraffe viewing with them very close to the vehicle and not really worrying about it whatsoever. But all of them, I feel, do have that instinctual cautious nature when it comes to being at water, and also before they bend down. But in some areas they do become more relaxed with that activity too, not even really waiting too long. In some areas they are super skittish before approaching water, but also, you know, like here, there's no danger in the water itself. They've been here enough to know that there's not a lurking crocodile. I mean, you never know, but at this stage, because of the size, because of how the animals move, we would have seen that movement if that was the case. And you can see now this next giraffe coming, also slowly looking around, being alert, but will probably come and have a drink quite soon. So it does definitely happen, Timbo, in certain places. Mr. Ellie, yes, it was a wonderful sighting of those zebra, and you can see that these animals are finishing off now and heading once again to probably go and do some grazing, at least for the zebras. While they do move off, we are going to head over to another waterhole. Oh wow, well here we are in Kenya once again, and we've got two hippos that are doing their thing, much like the rhinos that we started off the show with today. And how cool to see them just chillaxing like this, not in the water rather, but on the grass. Well, these guys are not doing very much at all, my word. It's obviously a bit of a cooler day here in the Masai Mara, and maybe we'll check in with them a little bit later. But for now, we are going to head over to Tau. Wow, what a beautiful scene as always here at Tau. So much happening. We've got some waterbuck bulls having a bit of a go at each other, and also some elephant bulls that are coming down for a drink.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
And that's it for this morning's drive.
She's just got to impala, everybody.
And we're going to be heading out and seeing what animals we can find.
We are here with a male leopard.
These waterbuck do enjoy coming into the water here at this water hole and eating some of the grasses and plants that are growing, just like you see there. There's a wildebeest arriving. A few of them, I think, that are on their way. I sort of saw these white things floating in the background, but I think those are a group of cattle egrets. I might be mistaken, but they look around the size and shape of them. All right, everyone, while the animals enjoy the waterhole here at Tau, we're going to head over to Naledi. Well, this is always a treat. The Ellies love to come here, and I think they've had their drink of water at the well or the trough that's just to the right, and now it's time for a mud bath.
Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Best sighting I've presented. I found myself with wild dogs. We chased the dogs around, chased them around. They ate an impala. We got the end of that. Then another impala went into Gowrie Dam down the road there, and the wild dogs went around. Eventually the impala came close to the bank. One wild dog went and grabbed it and then just pulled it out and just did what wild dogs do. It was an emotional experience, but it was very, very special.
Morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Wow, that was amazing, everybody.
Out here, every moment counts. As a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Which is the most important thing, and with plenty of zebras. My goodness me, it looked like everybody disappeared earlier here at Old Donya. Oh, there's a fringe-eared oryx as well making an appearance there, and my goodness me, a very pregnant zebra on the far right, the one's just walking in front of her. She is bulging on either side. Who knows, we might have a birth still today. Henry, a razzle dazzle indeed. My word, they are so impressive when they are in such large number in a very small area like this all together. The best was, I think, earlier when we had them all lined up like that, drinking. That was just spectacular. Interesting, that one's marking on its leg there. It almost has like a patch where the color or the melanin isn't as bright or black, almost like a bit of a birthmark over that particular area of its leg. Oh, it's actually trying to suckle still, my goodness me. And zebras can suckle for up to a year or so. Some white-billed sparrow weavers, there's a Namakwa dove there. Lovely to see some variety of bird life as well. My name is Amy, and behind the camera with me is Paul. And I mean, to be able to share it with all of you. Fingers crossed, and I'll make sure I wear my lucky leopard socks as well.
Tatemba Every week, the wilderness delivers.
And that's why we're here.
Drama, chaos, crimes, humour. All moments you'll never forget. We've counted them down, argued about them, and finally picked the very best. From rare sightings to classic bush showdowns, this is nature's weekly highlight reel. Sharp facts, bad jokes, and the wildest top 5 you'll see this side of the savannah. It's not just a show, it's a wild bush week.
Let's head over to Cat Eye. Oh, very cool. Here we are in the low veld, and we have got what looks to be a hummerkop that is perched here next to the waterhole. Well, we have come over here back to Founders, And we see some of the birds the rhinos are still resting in the same spot. But it was interesting. As you see, there are some goslings around here. To see if those little blacksmith lapwing chicks are also around. Or is that one? I think it might be. It's gotten so big already, my word. There are at least 2 little goslings here and at least 1 blacksmith lapwing chick that we saw, which is good. And Nina, so when different environments will have different indicators as to their health. I know, for example, in areas where you see, we call it old man's beard, or very soft sort of hanging moss on trees, means that the air is very clean because it doesn't grow in any other type of place. So, there's the 3rd little gosling. It's good to know. Fantastic. So there's a lot of different things that we can look at, but generally speaking, the balance in an environment, the air quality, and then also the types of plants and animals, the amount of biodiversity as well is also an important one. Alright, we are going to head up to Oldonyo. It looks like we had some eland here with some oxpeckers as well. What a bushy tail, my goodness me. I don't think I've ever noticed how bushy a eland's tail is. Looks like quite a young one. Well, they are disappearing very quickly. We are going to head over to Simbavati. It looked like a giraffe was arriving there at Oldonyo, but we've come over here to a beautiful grey heron that is doing its statue thing, being very, very still, waiting for its perfect moment to attack, I'm sure. can see slowly it's starting, is moving a little bit. But that head just stays so still. Greg, yes, I think herons defecate. A lot of water birds will just poop whenever they need to, much like other animals like hippos and elephants as well. We often see doing that. So yeah, and it all contributes to the waterhole ecosystem, adding things like nitrogen, there's uric acid in there as well, so there's a lot of different nutrients that then get added into the water. It can be build up to a point where it can be harmful, but everything in balance, in terms of then the rains come and that's all diluted, more oxygen's added to the water, etc. So it is something that is all part of how things work out here. And animals defecating in the water also often provides certain minerals and nutritive elements that may not be available to the fish and the mollusks and the crustaceans and things that all live in the water that wouldn't be able to access it otherwise. So yeah, it's very interesting how even an animal's poop also has a purpose. Just a reminder to everyone that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through any comments and questions that you might have, even if it is just to say hello. I am hoping that we get to see this heron actually catch something. They are so good at being so incredibly still, and when they do have their eye on something, they'll slowly lower their head until it's just above the surface of the water, and they'll do this sudden quick motion, catching whether it's a frog or a fish, whatever they're after. So Chad, it's an interesting one. You want to know if they have a better chance of successfully hunting in shallow or deep waters. So I think from what I've seen, these birds, depending on their size, of course, tend to enjoy water of about this depth that we're seeing this heron standing in now. They like to be able to move efficiently through the water, not so deep that they actually end up wetting their feathers, in other words. I have seen a heron like this one actually perch on the back of a hippo and do hunting from that depth, because they can't hunt as well or even at all when they can't stand, and then they don't have their they can't use the tactics. Like for a heron, it's very stealthy. For things like a yellow-billed stork, there's a lot of movement with a very big bill that's moving back and forth and hoping to disturb something that it swims between its beak. So each one has their own specialty, but generally speaking, I would say shallower water is where they are more successful. Okay, well, it's always nice to go and check in at Stony Point, so let's head over there now. Well, it looks like such a beautiful day here in the Cape, and we are down in the southwestern part of South Africa at Betty's Bay, and there is a African penguin colony that live out here, but what we're looking at right now is some cormorants. It looks like white-breasted, at least some of them. And always lovely to hear the sound of the ocean in the background. Highly favored. It is so refreshing, isn't it? My goodness me. Just the calmness of the water, the colors. And if you were to swim in this water, you would be very refreshed. It may look very inviting, but don't be fooled. The water on this side of the country is a little bit chillier than that of the eastern side. Well, always wonderful to check in here. We're going to head over to Naledi. It seems like these elephants have decided to have a drink. I'm not surprised if these are two boys that are at the back of the group. They had a bit of a splash. You can see the dark muddy color on their backs, and now deciding to have a lovely drink here at the trough.
This is an unbelievable afternoon.
My full name is Mpho Muthusi Tikani. I grew up in Soweto. My first animal that I filmed is a dog. Okay, no, it's my first animal that I filmed, I think it was an impala. Best sighting ever, I would say it was actually this year, 2024. But it was this Cedric when we had Muluwati and TP on a warthog kill. I think we have to cut it.
Real? You say the best kind of roadblock? Absolutely. Look at this.
Hello, girls.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Can be dangerous for them, but that's cyanobacteria in particular. Other algae and things like that, it doesn't affect them. But eventually when the rains do come and, like I say, oxygen returns to the water, the nitrogen levels dissipate and everything is sort of balanced out with H2O, then that sort of outbreak or large amount of that particular growth form is then subsided. Okay, let's head back over to Founders. Finally, we were waiting for the moment when mom and baby get up. I think it's the ones that were lying down. And here they are. Maybe a little bit of a lie down and cool off. Rhinos do love a bit of a mud bath as well. know, that's an interesting question. This little one would likely still be doing a bit of suckling from mum, and when it would want to, most likely it would actually have to sit down to reach the teat now, which we might actually see it trying to do. And because of that angle, and if it does decide to sit and suckle, I don't think the horn will hurt mom too much. But as it gets longer, like it's doing right now, I do think it might poke her a bit, but I don't think it would be painful at all. And the little one won't need nearly as much water as mom, so that's why mom's having her drink, but this little one's finding ways to entertain itself. You can see one of those little blacksmith lapwing chicks in the background there. There's also a waterhole there between the two animals. No, I wouldn't say that rhinos and warthogs are necessarily close relatives, but they do share commonalities, both being ungulates, hooved animals, both having this similar type of digestive system. So there are some things that do link them together, but I haven't heard of them being referred to as close relatives, like sometimes we talk about dassies or rock hyraxes and elephants being close relatives because of certain dentine structures and foot structures and things like that. Alright, well, they've finished their trip to the waterhole. We're going to head up to Old Donyo. Oh, beautiful. We have this oryx here drinking and a guinea fowl. I'm sure there might be some others around as well. What a beautiful picture. Johan, it is such beautiful markings. You are so right. Of course for the oryx, but also for the guinea fowl, the rest of the flock of them coming out now for a drink. Wow, how beautiful are these guinea fowl. Often overlooked, I would say. They are, something that we see fairly regularly, but on close inspection, I just love all those black and white feathers, the patterns, the coloration, that bright blue on the head, the bit of red as well. These are the helmeted guinea fowl here. Ollie, hello, welcome. You hope that you haven't missed too much. Well, we have had almost 3/4 of the show now that we've gone through, and we've had some wonderful sightings, all very relaxed here at the waterhole. Some beautiful elephants. We've had waterbuck at Tau. We've had some cormorants at Stony Point and rhinos at Founders. So lots of variety here today. If you are interested, you'll have to go back and watch what happened earlier. But it has been lovely to spend time here. I'm looking forward to the last half an hour. I see there was an African pied wagtail that just went past towards the left-hand side.
This unfolds in front of you.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Whoa. This is action-packed.
The bush, full of beauty, wonder, and absolute chaos. And now, all that madness has its own show. It's called a wild bush week. The countdown of the most outrageous, heart-stopping and sometimes downright ridiculous wildlife moments of the week. Lions throwing their weight around. Hyenas gate-crashing the buffet. Leopards doing, well, leopardy things. Each week, it's a fresh reel of safari gold. A mix of drama,
She's just got an impala, everybody.
danger, and a healthy dose of laughter. So, if you fancy a highlight show with bite, and I don't mean just the animals, tune in to a Wild Bush Week. You bring the tea, and we'll bring the tusks, tails, and teeth.
Those are some very wet warthogs. My goodness me, they clearly went for a little bit of a mud wallow somewhere. Warthogs do love to do that. And now drying off and finding some food. Well, hello everyone. I do apologize that we lost our connection there, but we are here at Jackie's and we have some, it looks like, koodoos, I think, that are here. I wanted to say Nyala, but then I thought no, it looks more brown at this distance anyway. There's also some terrapins that are sunning themselves on the rocks there. Alright, from here we're going to head up to Oldonyo. Oh wow, hello Mr. Baboon. Looking very serious here at Oldonyo. I wonder where the rest of the group are. They are so entertaining, aren't they? Alright, we're going to head over to Tau. Well, a beautiful scene as always. These waterbuck are in their happy place, it feels like. And an elephant there just in the background having a bit of a rest. I don't know if we're going to see a herd come down here at Tau today. We've just had the bulls come past. But maybe later they'll head down for a bit of a drink and pool party to cool off. Wow, there comes a much larger elephant across here now. Deb Davis, what an interesting question. I think the Lion King has benefited the awareness of Africa and its animals to people all around the world. So I do think that it has had a positive impact, and there has been benefits to that, and Disney choosing to do a movie like that based in Africa, and just to introduce people who otherwise may not have been aware of such things, especially at the time that it came out, when technology just wasn't where it is today and the access to information and awareness was so much lower. So in that way, I'm very grateful for The Lion King, but there were also some negative effects of that. For example, the negative association with hyenas and vultures, and the inaccurate understanding in some ways of animals and their lives, and creating a very strong anthropomorphic association with these animals, which can be detrimental to conservation in some ways, because when we try to conserve environments, and biodiversity being such an important part, and having to control animal numbers and having to make decisions about one species because they might affect a lot of different species underneath, and not even animals but also plants, and balance of the ecosystem. Of course, The Lion King isn't speaking about all of those factors. It simply is just creating a beautiful story. My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
My full name is Emojis Tikani. Best part of my job is coming to see nature. Worst part of my job is logging. That's the worst thing ever, because you have to log amount of footage. You sit in front of that computer and yeah, you think of deleting the footage, but no, they need the footage. If I want a camel, probably a soccer player. I know some people don't believe me, but I'm very good, and I'm very fast.
There's some ellies that we're approaching now.
The light on her as well is absolutely gorgeous.
So we are going to enjoy the rest of this sunset.
Wow, 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 this is absolutely crazy.
And thank you for joining us. For myself and Cam, we will see you next time.
If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every Safari Live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Melanistic marble, yes, you can definitely see where waterbuck get their name. They are by far, at least in the antelopes that we see in this area of South Africa, by far the most comfortable around the water and really enjoy spending time near it, and it's seemingly in it too, where there's delicious grasses. It's also nice to see those two eddies, although the one's a lot larger than the other. I think they do spend a lot of time together, and the one slowly having a drink. No rush for them, that's for sure.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Oh, she didn't catch it.
Come on, Tommy! Watch this, we're about to see a kill.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
So Tara, I'm not exactly sure in terms of, I suppose it depends how we define common, but yes, they do occur very widespread across continents and things like that. But the most numerous bird in the world is the red-billed quelea. So in terms of commonality, they have the highest numbers. They form those incredible flocks of, I don't even know, thousands of them. And I think there's millions of them across the world. Beautiful African pied wagtail there, my goodness me. So I do know that they're the most numerous, but in terms of the most widespread common bird, I do think a pigeon or a dove is a good contender for that. Wildlife Lady, hello. Yes, it's been a wonderful show. I have really enjoyed being back with you all and just spending some time back at these waterholes and sharing the lovely sightings with you all. You can see guinea fowl are still hanging about here. Maybe some other members of the flock coming for a late drink. Now, I will not be back with you tomorrow. In fact, the next time that I'm on the show, I'll be behind the steering wheel driving at Sandringham from Saturday afternoon. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will be doing a few shows in between as well here with Live at the Waterhole. But I'm very excited to get back out on drive with you all, so I'm looking forward to that. But for today's show, thank you so much, everyone. It's really been wonderful. I've enjoyed all of your comments and questions as well, as per usual. It was great to hear from you and to know that you're all watching and enjoying with us. And we will be live, of course, this afternoon for the sunset safari that you can hop on board for. So don't forget about that and make sure that you stay tuned right here to Wild Earth. What a beautiful way to end with this lovely helmeted guinea fowl doing its thing here at Old Donyo. Alright everybody, keep well and I will see you soon. Goodbye for now.